Y'all, can we talk about just how good the season finale is? And before I even get into the recap, I want y'all to tell me, where do you think Flynne is, okay? What part of 2032? When do you think she branched off, okay? Tell me right now, and I'm gonna get into this recap, okay? So we start off in 2028. Flynne is next to Connor's bedside while he's in the hospital. Obviously, it's right after he tried to help that dog, okay? So he's talking to Flynne about how she's always playing her sins, and he wishes that life was like a sin, right? He wishes that he could reset, reboot, go back in time, and fix the mistake that he's made. Specifically, he said he would go back. He would not go down there to save that dog. He would go down there to annihilate that dog. From a distance, though. He's not going there. He would change everything, but he said, obviously, it's not a game. It's chess. Once it's over, it's over. And that's just the real world, okay? That's what makes life hard, okay? There are no reboots. We go to 2032, the actual present, and we see Tommy leaving the Pickett's house. What does he do? He goes ahead, gets in his car, puts the weapons back in the bags, gonna make it look like he never even had them, never even touched them, never even fired them. He said, fingerprints, who's mine, not mine, okay? Those are his, those are Bob's. So he's in the car looking kind of disheveled, kind of like he can't believe that he did what he did. Still kind of calm, but also who am I now? I have no idea who I am. So he decides, I'm going to go ahead and call it in. Picks up his little cop walkie. He calls it in. He said, we got 3 people down over here. Suspect still at large. Be on the lookout. He's armed and dangerous. You see that the backup rolls up on him, okay? They're taking pictures. They're looking at the people that are down, trying to figure everything that's going on, okay? He walks back out the house, because obviously he walked back in the house, walked back out the house. He walks back to the back of his car. He's looking at it. He's trying to wipe it off, remembering what he did. Okay, and then one of the other officers rolls up and says, somebody got a pulse. He said, which one? I said, who do you think? Okay? It is impossible that the sheriff could have a pulse, sir. Okay? You put hot slugs in him, okay? The other one, you didn't know what you were holding in your hand, okay? So that's very possible that he's still with us. But the other one, please don't act dumb. So then another cop says that some shots have been called in at urgent med. So obviously he immediately thinks, oh my God, urgent med. That's why my wife Dee Dee works. So he speeds over there, right? As he gets out the car, he sees Burton, he sees Flynne and their mom, Ella, and then he sees his wife. Okay, so he's peeping out the scene. He's like, here y'all go again at another crime scene. But you're saying everything's okay. You're saying you're not involved in anything. You're saying, telling me to mind my business and not worry. But yet I keep seeing y'all. Okay, so his wife comes over there and he asks her, is she okay? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. I heard that, the Pickett and the sheriff, got shot. Is that right? And he's like, she's like, did he take out the sheriff? And he's like, yeah. He took out the sheriff. But it's like, look at that. You went heavy on your heart, sir. That was not you, okay? You kind of let yourself crack a little bit, but that wasn't you. You should have slowed your roll. Hold on. Pump the brakes. Go to 2099 and we see Lowbear, Beatrice, Wolf, Flynne, Burton, and we assume that there's Connor in there. Okay, we assume he's in there. So they're all talking, and Lowbear says, look, if Sharice has her way, Reese is not going to be the last one to get taken out. Obviously, they weren't trying to take out Reese. They're trying to get to Burton and Flynne, but we all know what she means, right? There would be more casualties. Lowbear obviously wants to form some type of alliance, but honestly, at this point in time, I'm still not really sure if I trust her, right? She just seems shifty. She seems like she's up to something. She seems like she really has no loyalty except to, her own morals, whatever those are. This alliance, she said she want to do it basically because Flynne can move in ways that she can't. If she tries to do something, everything's gonna break loose, okay? It's just gonna be crazy. Then Lowbear lets Flynne know that her world is actually on the edge of a jackpot. Last episode they said it's been speeding up. Right now, we right on the cusp, right on the threshold of the jackpot in Flynne's world. At that point in time, she's like, look, this is what I want. You have any demands? You got any ultimatums? What you want before we get this thing cracking? It's like, look, I want you to save my mind. Wolf, once again, looking shifty-eyed all the time. Why are you always looking so confused, sir? You really made it seem like you were big bad, but you were not big bad, okay? You were just little boy. Bear goes into her head just looking, okay? And then they're like, what's going on? Beatrice says she's consulting the aunties. They say, oh, okay. She comes back and said, we're so sorry, okay? We cannot help you at this time. You got 23 more days with your mama. She's like, what? Flynne checks out. Boom, gone, okay? All we got is AI robot. So Burton's like, all right, I'm gonna go get her, right? So They all wake up in the present 2032. Flynne's like, they said that they would do that for us. They promised us. Obviously, at this point in time, she's like, Wolf promised us, okay, that they could save my mom. So she gets upset. She walks out the building. Burton follows her out. They hug, and he consoles her because that's what your brother is supposed to do for you. About to lose their mom. They already lost her dad. The whole time she's walking around with her dad's jacket on. She can't take anymore. You know, I'll be right there too, bawling. Later on that night, we see her talking to her mom out on the front porch. And basically, at this point in time, she's already told her mom, you ain't gonna make it, mama. You're blind, and it's gonna get you in 23 days. And the mom made her peace with it a long time ago, and she's like, look, now you can finally live your life the way you want to. Flynne's like, I've been living it the way I've been wanting to all along. I wanted to take care of my mom. Obviously, you don't want your mom to be sick, but you will take care of her if you love her. Now she's happy because Flynne can now live her life, and she's like, you deserve more than what you've been doing, than what you've been living, than what you've had. So I'm happy about that. Now she has a chance to be whatever she wants to be, okay? And her mom tells her about how her dad used to call her Little Acorn, and she said, you know why we used to call you Little Acorn? She says, no, why? Her mom says, because even though you're little, there's a lot of strength and power inside of you, and we know that one day you're just waiting for that power to bust out, just like a big oak tree. I said, oh, that's so cute. Made me want to call my mom right there. Hello, am I like a little acorn? Switch back to 2099 and we see Ash meeting in secrecy with Cherise. Okay, very under the table, very shady stuff. She just comes on out and tells her, look, the data you've been looking for that Aaliyah took, it's in the girl, all right? You've been looking all over the place except for in the girl. And Lev knows about it. Cherise starts to talk and say, hey, I already got Lowbear involved. Ash cuts her off. She said, Lowbear is not going to help you the way you think she is, and you know that. She has her own agenda. You cannot depend on her. We got to take this into our own hands. Cherise, she's like, okay, you know, but she's like, man, she didn't actually want to do it. She's like, but this is going to require a drastic step that she didn't want to have to take. She asked Ash, how much time do we have? She said, none. Okay, get it done yesterday. Okay, you want this to happen? You know, let me know where the data is. What's the reward that you want? She said, get rid of Lev. She said, get rid of Lev. She said, yes, get rid of Lev. Okay, she said, why? She said, a breach of etiquette. I said, oh, is that what we call it when, you know, your boyfriend gets slashed across face? Just a breach of etiquette? I'm gonna start saying that, breach of etiquette. That was a terrible accent. So Cherise goes on to say, yeah, you know what, we can get it done, but it's not gonna be easy. Can you help me since you're inside the house? Ash said, obviously I would do whatever it takes to take down Liv. So she asked her, look, you said it's going to be a drastic step. What exactly is this drastic step that you're talking about? She said, man, I'm going to be forced to take some drastic measures and changes inside that stuff that's going to destroy and invalidate decades worth of research. And once again, just talking about how they really did not see them as people. They were just like, ha ha ha, your little science project. It's like, y'all rude. I hope Flynne takes you for everything you got. But she said, she's like, fine, okay, we're going to cut off the limb to save the body. I said, oh, is that what we're calling it now? The limb in the body? All right. Besides the fact that you just want to be in control. We know you do. So she's about to push the jackpot to the next level, wipe them all out. And if you remember how the jackpot starts, you know what she meant. At that time, I had no idea what she was talking about, so we're going to figure it out at the end, okay? We switch to Wolf, and we see Flynne waking up in her peripheral next to Wolf. So she's looking all around. He's like, hey, welcome back. She's like, huh, did not know you were there. It was like, well, why wouldn't you look to your left, okay? You looked all around except for on the other side. He asked about her mom. I literally shouted at the screen, she's dying. What did Flynne say? Dying. What you mean, how's my mom? She got 23 days to live. You shut your mouth when you talking to me. Don't you dare ask about my mama ever no more. And he said sorry. And I was like, you could keep your sorry. I'm so sorry for presenting you with the possibility of something as a certainty. It's like, keep your sorry, sir. No one wants to hear you. And then Alita says, is there a way that they can find his sister? He says, look, I've already decided she must be gone. She's out of the equation. She's not with us no more. That's the only thing that I can think of. That's the only reason I can explain why she's not here. Why I can't find her. And it's like, well, maybe you just suck as a detective. But that never really occurred to him. But it should have. Your detectiveness sucks. But then he goes on to say, it just feels like I'm missing something obvious. And it's like, yes, you obviously are, because your detectiveness sucks. Then he starts talking about how Alita says that he used to talk about a home. But this is a home that he doesn't remember, because the first thing, his first memory is being at the camps. Alita said they were burned out of the camps. He really doesn't remember that, but he does remember the fact that she took care of him for the next 3 years until they ended up at the orphanage. He does blame himself for getting them all caught, when really he should be blaming the other 2 kids, but maybe he blamed himself for the fact that he was doing a terrible job at foraging as a child, and then that's what made the other 2 kids kind of punk him into going out there and getting everybody caught. They ran away a few years after their adoption. It was all Alita's plan. She squirreled food and supplies away, living off the fat of the land. And what happens 8 months in? Wolf gets sick. Once again, bringing everybody down. So they had to go back to the house. After they talk about that, he says the Lowbeard wants him to convince her to kind of come to an agreement on this plan. But he's like, I really don't feel comfortable doing that, and also don't feel comfortable saying how I feel. And she's like, well, let's just link up in the head, right? Let's just go ahead and do that. I can ask you a question, and I can figure out how you feel about them based off of your emotions and feelings, sensations, stuff like that, right? So he asked about Lowbeard. He felt like she was powerful, a little scared of her, right? She asked him how he felt about Lev. Doesn't really feel like he really likes Lev, right? Like he's there with them. He feels like he's good with them until they're not going to be good, right? So then he asked about Alita, and we see these happy, fond memories. We can tell that he loves his own little sister. He tries to take his hand away, right? She holds on to his hand. She said, Flynne Fisher. I said, oh, you're going to ask about yourself. How dare you, right? They get all these cute little sweet emotions. Then she tries to pull her hand away. What does he do? He says, Wolf Neverton. I said, you're going to ask about yourself. Y'all digging each other. They feeling each other for real. Now, they 70 years apart. So what does that mean? That means you'll never meet. The 2 shall never meet. It won't happen, okay? Unless y'all really figure out time travel is not happening. But, it's cute when you think about it. Even though he kissed a robot. So then after that cute little moment, she says, hey, what was the place that you were talking about earlier? The place where the flag was. He says, so then they set off walking. And then as we set off walking, it's kind of zoomed out, and we see that Ash and Ossian are watching them. And Ossian says, should we alert Lev to the fact that they're on the move? And Ash said, absolutely not. We serve a new master. I said, y'all do. You done made a deal with the devil, okay? Charisse is no better. Wolf and Flynne walk up to this clearing, and obviously there are people there, but it's not real, right? So they get rid of it, and then we see Alita sitting on the bench, but it's not grown-up Alita, it's Alita's little girl Peripheral, right? Her younger self. They walk up to her, and she's basically like, took you long enough, okay? Are you my brother or not? Because it took you entirely too long to remember, and you didn't even remember on your own, sir. So look, she says, you can come with me. She gotta go. Flynne's like, what? I'm gonna say. Wolf is like, she's the heart of this whole operation. It's like, pump your brakes, sir. Okay, pump your brakes. But then Alita's playing no game. She's like, she can go on her own, or I could pull out this thing that I got on me and I can send her home that way. I said, golly. Playing no games. Wolf turns to Flynne and is like, look, I'll keep you updated. She's like, all right, fine. She turns, walks away. They go on. Wolf and Alita's Peripheral start walking. She takes him to this field, and she says, you don't remember this, do you? He's like, She said, it was a camp here. He's like, I was too young to remember. She's like, Wolf, you were 7. You were young for a lot of things, but you're not too young to remember. And it's like, yeah, why would you think at 7 years old you're not going to be able to remember anything about your life? You don't remember the field? So then at this point in time, the real Alita walks up and she's like, the implants suppress your memories. And he's like, yeah, we all know that the implants suppress our memories. They blunt the trauma. And it's like, what trauma? You're not thinking straight, sir. What is the trauma that is supposed to be blunting? Then she says, do you want to know what happens when I took mine out? He's like, yeah, you lost your immunity boost, among other things. I'm sure you'll come to regret it real soon. And it's like, Wolf, are you drinking the Kool-Aid? There is no immunity boost. Get it through your mind, sir. It was all a lie. He's like, nah, that ain't what happened. I started to remember a whole bunch of things, a whole lot of things. I started to remember that I had a family. I started to remember that you had a family. You had a mom. You had sisters. You had a brother. And I also started to remember some other things about the Klept. About your little buddy Zubov, his father, and what his father's friends did, okay? How they got rid of 5 million people in 2 weeks. Okay? She said a fortnight. That's 2 weeks. Because they were scared. So they're suppressing their memories out of fear that they'll remember and rise up and try to get them out of power, basically. Then all of a sudden, the Neobrims come out of the woodworks, and it really is like, you would think it was about to be like an army. Really, it's like her plus 10, right? He's like, what's your end game, right? You basically say, I got an end game. I got a plan. I just need the information that's in Flynne's head, and we can take this world by storm. One person at a time. We switch to 2032, back in the present. We see Pickett laid up in the hospital bed, okay? So He was the one with the pulse. Okay, they didn't show it earlier, but now we know. Okay, so then we switch the bar where we see Jasper and his 3 little friends, right? We find out that they're not really friends because at this point in time, they punked this man so bad. You would think that they were Pickett's nephews, okay? You would think that Jasper wasn't his nephew. Like Pickett wasn't his uncle. That's who you would think. Because they were like, look, I think I'm the second hand man. Y'all the third hand, Jasper. We're about to be the triumvirate. But guess what? There's only 3 people in one of those. So you're out. You know what you are? You're our little servant boy. Go get us some beer. I was like, oh my God. Okay, so they get wasted at the bar. So we see them getting in the car. The guy says, roll down the window. Jasper's like, what? He's like, roll down the window. Don't even make it in time because then he just throws up on his window. And it was like, wow. So they just all laugh it up. And I'm like, get mad, get angry. Kick them out the car, Jasper. But he doesn't. So he's driving, okay, driving. As he's driving, he says, who am I dropping off first? Nobody answered. He looks around the car. He sees everybody asleep. He gets a little thought in his head, right? I said, oof. We're about to really figure some things out right now. He parks the car, hop out. You're like, oh man, he decided he's just gonna take a walk, clear his hair real quick. No. That man put them on the train tracks. I said, oh, Jasper, you were waiting for the perfect moment, okay? You are your uncle's nephew, okay? You picked the perfect time. So he leaves him there, okay? Locks the car. He walks on and off to go ahead and ponder. He calls his wife. She picks up. He immediately says, remember that Monopoly fight we had? She said, what the heck are you talking about? He's like, the fight with Monopoly. When Flynne and Burton were over for Thanksgiving or whatever the holiday was. Remember? And she's like, yeah, I remember. What time is it? He's like, it's 2 a.m. She's like, are you drunk? No. Okay. Remember, I was winning and I was starting to feel bad that I was winning. So I was loaning out money to everybody. I letting everybody borrow money. Then all of a sudden, Burton came up from behind to win the game. And you got mad at me and you said I would never amount to anything if I kept letting people take advantage of me. If I kept mistaking their weakness for kindness. She said she didn't even mean all of that. Said she married him for his kindness. He said, well, why did you say that? She said, because I just wanted you to win for once. I felt like you deserved it. I said, and this is why you can't just go popping off at the gums and saying whatever you want. Because people remember that, internalize it, and can't get over it. Who knows how many years ago this was? Man, holding on to a Monopoly fight. Okay? So she's like, what's going on? He's like, I was just about to make a huge mistake. I gotta go. That man sees the train coming. He says, oh, no. I'm still trying to be the kind Jasper that I know I am. He goes knocking on the window. Can they hear him? No, because they drunk as a skunk. He looks in the car. He sees the keys on the seat. He tries to break the window with the rock, but it's unbreakable. You want to know why? Because it was one of them trucks that his Uncle Pickett, okay, gave to them guys that he took out in like episode 3 or 4. I said, you're not getting in there, sir. It's over. It's a wrap. And guess what? It was a wrap because the train was coming. It was honking. He couldn't get him away. The dude, number 2, the one they called him number 2, he finally woke up. He said, what's going? Boom. I said, This is why you should be nice to people. This right here is why you should be nice to people because you find yourself on some train tracks. Okay, I said, golly, that's ridiculous. Now Jasper's got to walk around with guilt in his heart. Okay? This is 2 mistakes he's made in this show already. We switch to Flynne. The next morning, she's riding her little bike, and on her path is Tommy. She stops. He like flags it down. She stops. He says, hey, I know you've been keeping secrets. Okay, baby face. Said, I just got a call from Homeland telling me that they're hearing chatter, okay? They're hearing that a silo's about to get blown to smithereens down at Spring Creek. You know anything about this? She said, He said, I know you do. She said, I don't. And drove on off. She said, why don't you clue these people in? At this point in time, look, is Tommy a cop? Yes. But he's also been in some stuff already. It really doesn't matter what he is at this point in time. His life's been put in danger and his wife's life's been put in danger. You think this man's on the right side of the road right now? No! Well, fill him in! So when Flynne rode away on her little bicycle, she calls her maker and says, get the headset ready. I gotta go back. So we see her go back to 2099. She meets up with Ash, right? She tells her about the silo. Ash's face tells it all. She's like, it looked like the face of, oh my God, you found out the plan, not the face of, oh my God, the silo's about to get blown to smithereens. Like, oh, she said, you knew? She said, yeah, I knew. And guess what I also know? The data that's been stored inside of your body is game, but you peeped that from episode 2. So why are you still surprised that they're seeing this as a game? Nothing should be shocking you at this point in time. In fact, you should have been playing boss the whole entire time. You should have rolled up in there trying to figure out how to get control of this peripheral. You should have rolled up in there trying to figure out how to take down their entire world. Okay? You've been playing it cool, you've been playing it sweet, and it didn't work in your favor. We're still following Flynne, but we switched to an abandoned building that's like on the outskirts of London, where obviously they have not started their rebuild yet. But we see that she's meeting there with Connor's peripheral. She tells him, look, I got an idea. It's a drastic one, okay? It's a drastic idea, but I got one. I want to open a new stub. He said, you trying to reboot? She said, I'm trying to reboot. But I need your help and I need Lowbeer's help. Then we switch to her talking to Lowbeer. She's like, look, we're in the black hole. She's like, a black hole? She's like, yeah, black hole's like in the sea where it doesn't matter what you do, you just keep dying over and over and over again because of some mistake that you made early in the game that you didn't even realize was a mistake. Then she goes on to ask her, do you really truly have the power to serve the connection? Because you've been ducking and dodging me on this question. She said, no, I don't. I said, I knew you was lying. I knew you had no power over here playing up your position. Shame on you. She said, do you have the power to open up a stub? She said, well, if I do that, it's going to be war. I said, well, just you go bring it on then. Okay? She said, but I can tell you how to do it. I can, direct you to the way of how to open up a stub for yourself. So then Lowbeer's like, fine, but don't you want an ally? What about your brother? She said, Burton can't know. I said, Burton can't know. Why can't Burton know? Okay, she said, but Connor's gonna help. I said, all right, well, we got Connor. He cute anyway. I like to see him more on the show. I said, okay, I'm good with this. Lowbeer lets Flynne know that Aura has ancillary sites all over London. And so they're basically stub portals. So she's like, I'm gonna tell you how to get there and where to go and what to do. So there are guards there though, but they also don't know that these are stub portals. These guards are people that are piloting peripherals, okay? They're gonna be just as strong as you. We see her go up to the building. She tries to do the building like she does all the other buildings. I've arrived. She's expecting to open the doors. It says, no open sesame here. She says, that's crazy. This guy walks up as she's peeping out this like little camera looking thing. He's like, can I help you? She's like, do you still get queasy? He said, queasy. She said, yeah, when you get sit back to your body. Well, pow, pow, pow. I said, Put that man's eye up to the scanner and then lights out for him, okay? So she goes in the building, walks down the stairs, she sees a pocket watch down there. She picks it up, she looks at this wall. There's a lot of stuff going on at this wall. I did not take the time to look at everything that was going on, but it evaporates, dissolves away. It looks like it was just a hologram, right? And she sees like 5 other peripherals inside of there. She also sees a black table. When the wall changed though, Charisse was notified that, hey, somebody's in this stub portal. So she's in the middle of the hallway, just stopped. She connects to the peripherals to see what's going on. Then all the peripherals start coming at Flynne. I said, okay, girl, can you take them down? Take them down. She did. Okay. One of them almost choked her out. Okay. She got out of it, though. I said, look at you. Good for you, girl. You got out of it. Goes up to the table. Puts the stopwatch down. Charisse connects to one of the peripherals that she didn't just completely take out. Charisse is like, you think you can escape from me? Flynne's like, aren't you getting tired of controlling dying things? I said, ooh. She said, first, the one coordinator, now this person, my stub, how many other dying things can you control? But when Flynne puts that pocket watch on the table, though, we see it lights up. It's very high tech, and we see that there are other dates, 2032, 2028, 2034, I think, something like that. Flynne wakes up out of her headset, and we do a little flashback to the conversation that she was having with Connor earlier in that abandoned building, right? So she says, I'll be gone, and then Charisse will have no reason to take out the silo. I said, oh, okay, what exactly is going on here? She also says to Connor, she's like, Burton once told me that you took out somebody from 2 kilometers away. He's like, Burton's lying. It was actually 3 clicks away. She's like, oh, okay, but you know what I'm saying, right? I said, I don't know what we're saying here at all. What exactly is going on? What do you mean you'll be gone? She said, you got to make it seem like Lowbeer sent someone to do it. I said, do what? What are we talking about here? So she says, look, I'm going to just go to the creek. I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to count to 10. I said, oh, okay. I don't understand. He didn't ask her, are we done with this world? She said, absolutely not. I'm going to come back and take out Charisse. I said, oh, we're not done with this world. Once again, I had to watch it a second time. Because first watch, very confused about what the conversation really meant, right? We see her walking, looking very peaceful. She looks out. We see Connor looking through a scope. I said, what the heck is going on here? What exactly is going on here? I said, this can't be what I think is about to happen, okay? So we see her turn around. She start counting down from 10. I said, oh, the tears welling up in my eyes. When I tell y'all, she's counting down from 10. she hits 5, starts having flashbacks with her and her family. The tears coming out of my eyes. And then we hear a shot ring out. I said, no! Why would y'all do that to me? I am too fragile for this. You see the tears now. I'm too fragile for all of this, okay? Connor was up there crying. I said, I can't do this. They kind of cut to the credits, but then credits come off. And then we see Flynne wake up in her peripheral in front of Lowbeer. And then Lowbeer says to her, so shall we get to work? And then boom, that's the end of it. So now we gotta wait all the way to season 2 to figure out everything. Where do y'all think she decided to create the stub in 2032? Because obviously she just pressed 2032. I don't know if she had to think it, okay? I don't know if she had to type in coordinates. We didn't get to see all of that, right? Where do y'all think she decided to create the new stub? I don't have a specific moment narrowed down, but I do think it was after she got the information put in her head and before Reese got taken out. Maybe even before Bob showed up, right? So what is that, episode 5? So between episode 2 and episode 5, I think that's where she created the new stub. What do y'all think? Let me know. What y'all think about this show? I'm going to read the book. I have to know what happened because I'm probably going to read the second book too. So if y'all would like for me to do a video just comparing and contrasting the book and the TV show, let me know and I will do that, okay? Subscribe if y'all want more recaps and I'll see y'all on the next show. Bye! Let's Flynne know that Aura has